Hello, today is June 16th, 2021, and I am going to be reading on the case of Kassandra Ramirez, who has been missing since September 19th, 2018. And she was to meet an individual that claims he never met her. Okay. And that person, this male, has disappeared as well. When he was informed that the NYPD wanted to contact him. Cassie was 25, but truly looked much younger, like 15 or 16. And she was last seen at 863 Melrose Avenue in the Bronx. And she was reported missing September 22nd, which was her mother's birthday. The following week was her son's birthday. She was a mother. She had a little boy. And she wouldn't have let her mother's birthday and her son's birthday go by, without being there. So any attempts to call her just went to voicemail with her cell phone, and her social media has been silent. It's just, nothing's really happening from what I understand for Kassandra. Kassandra, one of the things I had read about her was that she had been attacked before. Now, I don't know what about or anything to do with that, but she was stabbed like 6 times, and this was, I think, in an area maybe up under the breast, or I'm not quite sure, but to the upper body. And it was a rather strange thing. It's like, no, most people don't usually have this kind of thing going on. All right. Yeah, so I just found that she was November, I believe, it's showing me November 2010 that she had November 16th to November 28, 2010. I think that must have been a tattoo. She was stabbed 8 times under the left breast and in her belly. Scars on left hand due to an injury. And she had a C-section scar from giving birth to her son from 2010. And she smokes cigarettes. She has a Pisces tat and one that says J-Den, and that's spelled J-A-Y with a capital D-E-N. In my opinion, that's probably her son's name. That's what a lot of people do. That's what I'm betting anyway. She was about 5'2" and 110 pounds, so she was very petite. She had naturally curly hair, but she straightened it often. She was born in 1993, but I don't have her birth date, and that's what I was looking for. Glasses that she sometimes wore. She had piercings in her ears, navel, tongue, and was last seen in a white t-shirt. I'm sorry, in a white shirt, gray hoodie, and blue jeans. Okay. And I will include this page and the phone number to call in case you have information. The circumstances were that she went to meet, it says, an ex-boyfriend who claims that she never showed up, and he since, disappeared, changed his cell phone. So that's so suspicious. I think it's safe to say what bothers me is we don't have a name for this guy. He's clearly whoever. He is clearly, in my opinion, someone who more than likely is responsible. I don't know whether or not he is the father of her child or not. But let's just read on. So there we have a bit of information. Okay, I'm going to use the Star Tarot deck. It's really colorful, and I feel like it suits Kassandra. I don't, of course, know anything about her. So I ask the Creator and my spiritual mentors to help me to read accurately and clearly on her, and to relay her message accurately Let's just see what we get regarding this case. And what does Kassandra Ramirez want to tell us through the cards? Kassandra Ramirez, you were born in 1993, and you went missing, in September 19th, 2018, in the Bronx. She was last seen in the Bronx in New York. And Hispanic female. Sounds like she had a pretty rough life. She was 25, but she looked to be really young. She really does look really young. She looks like she could be 15, 16, somewhere in there. She's and petite to boot. But so let's just see what we get with result to Kassandra Briana Ramirez. Okay. We have the Seven of Wands covering her. So right away, we're getting that she is in a mode of defense, of being defensive and trying to keep her boundaries. There was something to do with boundaries going on, because that Seven of Wands around here there are flames and stones that encircle this individual, and it is their area of power, their area, their boundaries. And I think this card is saying that she is using this card because she's trying to indicate to us that she had to stand up for herself, even if she didn't win, quote unquote. And she was definitely in a defensive mode and trying to maintain, I believe, her independence, and boundaries. I don't know if her ex-boyfriend was continuing to overstep. And gosh, ladies, and I'd say even, no matter who you are, if you have to meet up with an ex and there's been issues, don't go alone. And insist on meeting in a public place and be escorted out. Don't do it alone. Have someone with you. So often I have read on cases where, and I'm sure you have too, even if you don't read the cards, where you've just read that somebody goes to meet with an ex and they don't end up ever coming back. It's just, don't go alone. And meet in a public spot. She was definitely there to lay down the law and make it very clear to him that she was not, I think, wanting him to continue a certain behavior, or definitely, I feel like, to bother her or threaten her. She was standing up for herself, and she was making it very clear to this ex to, what she wanted and what she didn't want. And she may have also pointed out a truth that they didn't like, because we're getting a challenge here where it shows us that she's, having to look at and speak the truth. I think she went there to speak truth to quote unquote power, if you will, somebody a heck of a lot stronger than she was. I believe this, of course with the ex, that would be the case, but it really, really makes me feel like she went there to speak her mind and to speak her truth to this person, and I don't think they were down with it. Then she gets another 7. The 7 of Pentacles, wanting to make changes in her life. Okay. And where she put her energies. And how she lived. So I see it's saying, as far as this person was concerned, she was finished with them and wanted to move on and improve her life, and didn't want this person, I believe, to continue to act in ways that, brought her down. Okay, just continuing on. So Kassandra was making changes and had been making some changes, it looks like, with the wheel that I'm reading, which is the spread, the way it's set up. It looks like it was something that she was undertaking in her life, and part of it looks like, was definitely having a word with this ex. And it looks like that she was coming there to make something very clear with regard to her life and her new life, her life where she was putting her energies, so on and so forth, which I don't think included him. Now, she was crowned by the Eight of Cups. And again, she's letting us know that I wanted to make such a significant change in my life here and here that it would have bore very little resemblance to who I used to have, had been, and who I used to hang out with, and how I lived, etc. So she's indicating here between the Seven of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups that she was making significant changes in her life, and it looks like, to me, it's about self-improvement and not wanting to go back to living a certain way. All right? The Three of Pentacles, and this was in her past. She was severing ties with people. I think not just, I think, really ending it with him, because here it's like making it abundantly clear and standing up for oneself, where more than one person is concerned, people that she used to, again, involve herself with, that were involved in her life. It looks like she was making huge changes. And Knight of Wands. This is being energized, enthusiastic. And I just got from her not giving a great big what, how other people may have felt about her making these changes. She was ready to go. She was past ready to go. She was fed up with the way her life had been going and how she had been living her life and the people involved. And she was sick of it all, is really what I get. And was going to be making active changes. And it meant that she would not be associating with people from her past. This, she knows. I feel like she was angry, but I think it also made some other people angry, especially the ex. But because this is her thoughts, which she was conscious of, she also just had this energy of she was just so ready to make changes in her life that she wanted to make, that she was, I think, getting clear on what she wanted to do, rather than just living like you're going through the motions. And she was very intent on activating and making these changes. She gets 2 aces, so this is a lot of dynamic, new energy that was coming in, of where, to me, with that Ace of Swords, she was clearing and cutting boundaries. People that didn't respect her boundaries, I think, were out from the looks of this. And it kind of feels to me like her message that she went to let him know was to just leave her alone. That she was changing her life and it was over. She was feeling strong, very strong, I believe at the time, and had her mind very, very, very clearly made up. I just don't understand the naivete of meeting with him. And anyhow, I just feel that she felt so clear, so ready. Mind was willing and the body was able. She was going to be making changes. And I'm betting whenever I see these controlling, stalking weirdos never like it. In her environment is the Four of Wands. This had to do also with, I believe, the kind of, I think she wanted to move to a different place. I think she wanted to hang out with entirely different people and publicly have very, and she may have already begun to make them, but make very different friends. People that were more, I think, frankly, mentally healthy, emotionally healthy, socially healthy. I think her ex was not a socially healthy person. I think it rubbed off on her. That's what she's giving me to feel. Yeah, she definitely wanted a new environment, new friends. So probably kicking any substances that maybe she had been doing out. I just feel like she was maturing. She was 25. She may have looked young, but she was 25 after all. And I think she was tired of, I feel like, that more of that late teens, early 20s party and all night, all day kind of thing. I think she wanted more meaningful experiences and meaningful people and healthier people in her life, and living a healthier lifestyle, a healthier environment. Hopes and fears. Now, this could have been a hope to get married. In my opinion, I think she wanted some real, trying to find the right word, some real discipline, some real, what's that word I'm looking for? But it is tradition, and it is a way of doing things. I think having some traditional aspects of family and a home, a marriage, that feeling feels more settled, and I believe she wanted that. King of Pentacles. I believe this is the man that is responsible for her death. So I believe she met up to talk to him about the changes she was making in her life and that she was moving on. And wanting different people to socialize with and a different environment to be in. She wanted more traditional now. I feel like aspects in her life, marriage, to live a more, just a more organized life. Not a life where you're getting up and your day, you're just so scattered, you're not constructed is the word I'm looking for. And she wanted those guidelines. She wanted certain traditions, it looks like to me. I also feel like she feared at the same time old ways, okay, because she was wanting to break away from an old pattern. And it's in connection to this man. He's part of it. But I feel like she wanted to get away from him. I think she wanted to live in a different area. I think she wanted a clean break. And I don't think this King of Pentacles, who is feeling the negative aspect of an earth sign of being controlling and possessive and clinging, not letting go of that person. But let's just pull a few extra cards here. Now, for all I know, this could be, because I couldn't find a month and a day yet for Kassandra Ramirez, but wouldn't surprise me if this was her. A Queen of Cups. And I believe this is likely the ex, because I think that is clearly who I believe is responsible. Lovers, yes. Okay, so she's talking about the ex and the Two of Swords and the decision. I think they had a pretty strong chemistry, but I think she had made this decision, as we're seeing here, to make big changes in her life, and she wanted more opportunities. She wanted a better life. And Eight of Pentacles, I think she wanted maybe to go back to school or some kind of training. And the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like she wanted to have her own business or have some training or schooling that would be career oriented and help her support herself and a family, her son. And it looks like she had all of this intent on making this, talking to this guy, and maybe she didn't think that he would react the way he did. I really don't know. But the Wheel of Fortune, so things happen, things, precipitate and shift, and a change. And there's that Seven of Cups. This Seven of Cups It just feels like she's saying he lied, about what she did, and saying that she didn't show up. And I think she's also talking about the fact that he disappeared, he left, he fled, he ran, and tried to get away so that they couldn't hold him accountable. This is definitely karmic with the Wheel of Fortune. And I'm feeling with the Seven of Cups, this is the lack of clarity. This is the headspace that is not on right. And it could be indicating that at that time, he was going through a cycle of using substance. I don't think she was. I think she was trying to get away from that kind of whole thing. I think she wanted to live a normal, quote-unquote life, a clean life. Knight of Swords. This, to me, feels like an individual, a young adult that is rash and reactive and acting very quickly and usually pretty brutally. We'll get the Queen of Swords. And the Six of Wands, and the Six of Pentacles. I feel like someone, whoever did this to her, which I think is the ex, had help with the Six of Pentacles. And this, in killing her, I think somehow made them feel like they won, like they sorted her out before she could them. There's a very competitive feeling in this way. That person that wouldn't be able to stand somebody breaking up with them, somebody telling them no. So in his mind, it looks like he has, quote unquote, been the victor in the circumstances. He couldn't let her, and apparently in his mind, he may see it as winning, allowing her to get her way as her winning, and him losing. It looks like he's one of those types of people that may think very much along those lines. And a really, again, a very mentally Seven of Cups kind of weird way. Doesn't make a lot of sense. But I do believe that he had assaulted, and I think may have had an adult female's help at the end of the day to, I'm sure, tidy up and deal with her remains of something, because clearly something happened. And I'm being shown somebody just reacting very quickly. And I feel like there's a female figure there that helps, and that this individual then feels like, and I hate to say it, but it's like a bit like, well, I got her before she could, reject me. It's very juvenile. So again, it makes me feel like this is somebody and their parent or a sister, or maybe could even be another adult friend. But they have help through a female that, and this is them. They did say the ex split the scene. This is leaving a place and not looking back. This is abandonment, moving on, and the devil. So yes, I believe this clearly shows that I believe the ex is involved, and probably somebody else that is close to them with regard to what happened to her, what was done with her. And this makes me also get a sense that she's probably been left outside somewhere with that Eight of Swords, that abandonment card. And the devil, just like I was saying, too controlling, only interested in their ego and whether or not what makes them look good or bad, very juvenile and cruel. Really cruel. This is not somebody here that you would want to turn your back on. And what he did, and this is her ex, was evil and did a runner after he did that. Justice, here we have the law looking for this person. I wish that they would give us his name, and I will try and find it. If you have it, please post it. Two of Cups. So I'm feeling that the law, there's a personal investment, I think, on some people that are working on this case. Really and truly. And I think it's because she's got a son. And I think one of the things is also because they would know that she was trying to make some sort of really positive change in her life. And I think she was really captured someone's heart that is trying to bring her justice. And it's not just, I think, close loved ones trying here with the Two of Cups. But I believe this is actually on the part of detectives and that sort of thing. People in that line of work that are trying to bring her justice. There's a personal, heartfelt investment. The High Priestess. These are the things, perhaps, that they know that is secret from the public. Definitely secrets, definitely things that aren't publicly known. With the Five of Swords, and it is to do with fighting. It is to do with physical assault. I'm feeling domestic violence, bullying, brutality. I think this young lady just went through a lot of brutal treatment, And maybe even more than she ever told or let anyone in on. There was something extremely threatening happening here. She may not have been aware that this was, I believe, planned. You know, the ex, I don't think just spontaneously did this to her. To me, this is planned. Because again, I'm getting their ego can't stand the fact that somebody should tell them goodbye. You know, don't want to have anything to do with you. See you later, this is it. You know, whatever. Laying down the law. They're not going to like that. So this could also be their plans to take her life, to lure her, to call her in, to meet. You've got to meet, also meet. There's some kind of decision. I don't know if her ex is the father of her young son, but could very well be. We get the Prince of Wands there. This is feeling like, yeah, hidden activity then. So we're being shown that she was lured. I think that she's been put somewhere outdoors, but yet still hidden, obviously. But I mean, like, covered up. And the moon says covered up as well. So I get a lot of cards here that indicate trying to cover up deceit, trying to cover up details, not being completely truthful. And I'm thinking this could be them losing track of where he went. Him going off the radar. Wonder if he's still alive. Family helping him, 10 of Pentacles. And a King of Wands. Maybe a father figure. An uncle, quite possibly. I believe people are helping him and his family. And the feeling here, too, with that 10 is he's got a big family. Or he has a lot of people in his family that he can... It feels like it's a large family. Ooh. The Tower, though, is coming. And this is, I think, I'm just getting, this is him based on living on the run, on living on a way that is, living on a lie, living on a, in a way that is false. And the 3 of Cups, there will be celebration. I believe this man may be found into the future. And he might get tired of living on the run, or simply caught socializing, visiting with friends, quite possibly. And he doesn't expect, but something very sudden happens with that. To me, this is also people being happy he's caught. Princess of Pentacles and the 5 of Pentacles. This made me feel like they're saying, lead us to her. Where's her body? And I'm feeling with the Princess of Pentacles that it's not complete. And by that I mean it may be that it's partial what is found. The Five of Pentacles definitely speaks of someone that is having to live outside the law and on the run, and it's rough and it's hard on them. So this, I think, also speaks to her ex. I think it's got to, hard, you can't be seen visiting family, people, for years like that. And there's something about that. And another five, another challenging, because fives are always challenging with the wands. I think it's maybe getting harder for this ex of hers to continue to live, trying to live with watching their back, with not being on the radar. This is fighting with the Five of Wands too. Struggling. I don't think they are doing physically well or mentally well, because they're having to live on the down low. They're having to live off the radar. And it's taking a toll on them. I'm feeling like they've gotten beaten up. Quite likely, because I think they don't handle stress well. I just pictured this person, somebody saying something, they just blow up, and he gets to, if you write I suppose it's one thing to throw around, basically a petite 5'2" individual than another man. We got that bully card back there with the swords. Wow. So this guy she is showing us really is having a hard go of living life on the quote-unquote run, finding it very, very challenging. And I think at times, because of his own personality, he rubs people wrong and gets in fights. I just feel it. He has a lot of volatility. Very dark-minded. Not conscious-minded at all. And that she was becoming more consciously minded, more aware, and wanting to change her life. This person, definitely not aware, definitely knee-jerk reaction, finds that a threat to something that they want with regard to her, whether it's just not to control her, that she can't do things that they don't want her to do, or that she wants to leave, and if that was his child, maybe he wasn't cool with that. I don't know, but I just feel like this person is argumentative, not doing well, and 10 of Cups. lives in La La Land. This could also be like heavy substance, heavy drink. And if you're living rough like that, most people say that have had to live that way, that in order to just get through the days, a lot of times they use substance. So that could be part of it, but let's get the adjoining card. Yeah. It is the card of being independent. It is the card of well-being. And doing well for oneself. Ten of Cups. Oh, it's her. This actually, you know, okay. She's indicating he cut me off before I could do my self-improvement work. She did that on the other side because this would indicate she's already done the Eight of Pentacles. She's already worked, but she's done it on the other side. Now she's at the Nine, where she's achieved a level of expertise, of skill, and rebuilding her life in a healthy way. So she has the well-being card and the Ten of Cups, her family, her ancestors, her, friends and loved ones. Her life is very full, except, of course, for the fact that she has a child here that someone else is raising. I'm curious who's raising her son. But she's showing me here, she's going back to talking about herself after talking about this ex, I believe, that she's okay, that she's was able to continue on the other side to develop those things that she wanted to do here, that this aspect of them was too threatened by. Okay. I love this deck, the Star Tarot. It's really beautiful, the colors. She's indicating she did have a hard life with the Nine of Wands, but that she's stronger. She's saying she met certain karma, and she could have postponed it, but she chose to get it out of the way. And she's indicating to me, I'm surprised I can just connect with her so easily, but she's indicating to me that it's not that she human consciously thought, yes, I'm going to get this and this and this, but her spirit, her higher self, decided she would, finish up and move on the other side. I just feel like the boyfriend is obviously owing her a highly karmic debt, because I feel he did not want her to become independent, to become empowered, to believe in herself and have self-confidence, and even if it's not a great job, a job that she can earn a living from, to having a great job, and maybe being a very independent entrepreneur in some way. But she's got that now on the other side, in the next world. So I'm very glad that she was able to continue to grow, and that she's actually done so well, even by this point, that she is at the 9 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups, and she's very happy to be with her family. She has the love that she didn't feel like she had in earthly existence, not enough of, and emotional security with that 10 of Cups. She doesn't feel emotionally insecure, which caused her, she's saying, to settle for less with the types of people she would hang out with and boyfriends she would choose. Okay. Prince of Swords and the 4 of Swords. I believe she's indicating with this Prince of Swords that maybe some of her remains could be found. Somebody could find them, and then that would leave them to the burial area or wherever she's been placed. But it feels like here there's like something that flags someone's attention, and then they find the burial area. So that is further yet into the future. I'm going to leave this right here. This is a very long reading, and I have one more yet I wanted to do on Putin. But I hope you enjoyed this content. I felt like this was a really tight reading. We'll just have to wait and see in the future how it plays out. I'm not really great with timing, but I see this as down the road. I do feel, though, that her remains, it looks to me like really they will be found, and there could be a bone or something that somebody sees and leads them initially to find the rest of the burial area or remainder of where she is. And I do feel like it's outside. I do feel like it is an outdoor location. I'm not being given to feel here. I've been given cards that talk about the outside. Yeah, there we are again with Empress. I feel like that's her, and it's also her out in nature. And the 6 of Cups. There is a sense of nostalgia or past with that. It may be a place, quite possibly with the Empress and the 6 of Cups, that her mother may have taken her, or something, a place that she associated to motherhood, or I'm not sure. It also could be acknowledging her mother, and with the 6 of Cups, there's a nostalgia. Again, so I feel like she's talking about some place in nature that maybe her mother was fond of, and maybe that's where she's at or near, because there's nostalgia about the place. And with the Empress, it feels like it's a very nurturing environment. Could be a park. There could even be an area for children to play. Yeah, I feel like she's there. There's the 4 of Cups. And I feel like she's like she's saying, I'm in a place like what she's giving me to understand here, like a place that mothers might take their children. I don't know why he would take her and dump her in a park, but maybe there's an area or something that he knew he could do that. The Four of Cups is she's there, but you can't see her. People may have looked, but they just didn't see. I also feel like that's how she kind of feels about being there, her remains being there. It's just not really happy about it, and just may have also be kind of resigned to the fact that they're there. But I think that I have a feeling they could be found. Queen of Wands. Definitely a woman that I think doesn't expect much anymore. Isn't counting on, but there's something that she doesn't yet see. And I don't know if this is to do, like if they're bringing this meaning toward the remains, or her remains and her own awareness, but the Hanged One, there's, I think because of the long delay in finding her, maybe with authorities, with the Emperor, this is typically a father figure, authority, and a delay. So, and her just kind of like having to wait, not happy about it. I think she's saying she will be found. Authorities will find her. They've long been delayed. But again, I feel like she's just kind of camouflaged. I feel like she's in a natural environment, possibly a park, maybe where there's an area to take children to, and maybe one where even her own mother may have taken her. There's something about this. And there's something about feeling like she's definitely there, but kind of in plain sight almost. But you wouldn't know just looking at it. You would have to dig around a little bit or look a little closer. You'd have to scrutinize a bit more. So I feel that they will find her. The question is, will they find the boyfriend? I don't know. But I'm going to leave that there. Long reading. And if you enjoyed this content, please make sure that you're subscribed. And if you would be so kind to hit the thumbs up and share. Thank you so much.